James, a simple-minded black man, secretly left beautiful Christmas gifts at every household. However, his good intentions were met with suspicion from a white police officer who accusingly questioned where the presents came from. James, nervous and just wanting to leave with his cart, was handcuffed without further questions. Though not shot on the spot, he inevitably ended up in jail. The white officer, feeling proud of his accomplishment, thought he'd done something great and would be promoted with a raise. Unexpectedly, the senior officer released the previously trembling James and treated him like an honored guest. James got to eat a burger and watch a game, while the rookie officer who arrested him had to write a self-reflection and was ordered to accompany James in delivering the remaining gifts. This wasn't because James had powerful connections, but rather because the senior officers knew his background well. Despite having the face of an adult, James had the mental capacity of an 8-year-old. Every day, like an NPC on a fixed loop, he would push his little cart through the streets. Though his behavior was odd, he was kind-hearted. For 20 years, he had been harmless, and no one would believe he'd break the law. On the contrary, his disabilities and slow reactions often subjected him to insults and disdain.
Hey, you boy! Get out of my way!
Faced with this, James never fought back or took offense. He would just push his cart to the football field as always, where he'd quietly watch the players sweat for hours through the wire fence. This was the most enjoyable and happy time of his day, the only way he could forget his troubles and sorrows. One would think he'd live this idle life forever. However, a football that suddenly flew his way changed his fate. That day, a player accidentally kicked the ball out of bounds, and it landed right in front of James.
Hey Einstein, why don't you try picking the ball up? Yeah, you dummy. What, you deaf?
James picked it up but mistakenly thought it was a gift from the player, so he naturally claimed it as his own. The player immediately complained to the coach, accusing James of stealing their ball, but the coach just smiled, not minding it, as he had long noticed this simple-minded young man. Since James loved football so much, what was the harm in giving him one? But the narrow-minded player didn't see it that way. The next day, he gathered his teammates, locked James in a small dark room, and kept hitting the walls with the ball to scare him. The coach, noticing something was off, was about to stop the players when he heard a faint crying from inside. Opening the door, he saw James with his hands and feet tied, a clear look of panic on his face. Coach Jones calmed James down while carefully cutting the tape off him. Once free, James didn't even bother thanking the coach, only wanting to escape this sunless prison as fast as possible. A group of tall players went to bully a mentally retarded patient. This made Coach Jones furious. He immediately decided to teach these bad guys a lesson.